I'm gonna be explaining about micro and macro skills of writing. The first one, micro skills. Produce graphemes and orthographic patterns of English. Maksudnya adalah menghasilkan grafik dan pola ortografi bahasa Inggris. The next, produce writing at an efficient rate of speed to suit the purpose. Atau menghasilkan tulisan dengan kecepatan yang efisien sesuai dengan tujuan. And then, produce an acceptable grammatical systems. Menghasilkan sistem bahasa yang dapat diterima. And then, express a particular meaning in different grammatical form. Mengekspresikan makna tertentu dalam bentuk tata bahasa yang berbeda. And the last one, use cohesive devices in written discourse. Menggunakan perangkat kohesif dalam wacana tertulis. Kemudian macro skills, use the rhetorical forms and conventions of written discourse. Gunakan bentuk retoris dan konvensi wacana tertulis. Next, appropriately accomplish the communicative functions of written text according to form and purpose. Mencapai fungsi komunikatif teks tertulis dengan tepat menurut bentuk dan tujuannya. Next, convey links and connections between the events and communicate such relations a main idea, supporting idea, new information, give information, generalization, and exemplification. Menyampaikan keterkaitan dan keterhubungan antara peristiwa dan mengkomunikasikan hubungan seperti gagasan utama, gagasan pendukung, informasi baru, informasi yang diberikan, generalisasi, dan contoh. Next, distinguish between literal and implied meaning when writing. Membedakan antara makna literal dan tersirat saat menulis. And the last, correctly convey culturally specific references in the context of the written text. Menyampaikan referensi khusus budaya dengan benar dalam konteks teks tertulis.
Hi, I'm Indah Rizkiani, my student number 072, and now I'll continue the explanation from Mbak Aina Madahat. I'll explain about writing assessment in the topic of imitative writing. To produce a written language, as a student or as a learner, we should know and mastering about the basic skills of writing, like the ability of write letters, symbols, and spelling. Now, there are several types of tasks to assess a person's ability to produce written letters and symbols. First, copying. In this activity, the teacher gives an instructions to the students to rewrite the letters that had written by the teacher or in a textbook. For the example, you can see in the slide. There is a command that the students or the learners or the test takers should rewrite the words or the letters below it. Then, the second is listening close selection text. These tasks are command dictation with a written script that has several missing words from which the test taker or the student must select. Here, the teacher provides a paper which is there is a questions. For the first step, the teacher will be dictating a full paragraph. Then, the students will see in the paper sheet the same paragraph but with the missing word. Then, the students should choose which the correct word that appropriate to the sentence based on the paragraph that teachers dictate. Okay, and the third, picture cue task. The teacher provides a familiar picture. It can be animals or things around them. Then they should write the word that the picture represents. It can be the color, the name, or the other that appear in the picture. Then, form completion task. A variation on picture is the use of a sample form that asks for name, address, phone number, and other. And the last is converting numbers and abbreviation to words. Some tests have sections on which numbers are written. Example, time, date, or schedules. Such as in another side, there is also abbreviation, such as the abbreviation of month, day, and other words like street. And also you can see the example in the slide. Next, there are several tasks to assess spelling ability and to process phoneme, grapheme correspondences. First, spelling test. This test used to assess the spelling ability of a learner or test taker. Here, the teacher may dictate a list of words one by one. Then, the student should write it down in their paper. We can illustrate that. The teacher will dictate about a group of color. The teacher may dictate first word, for example, orange. After that, the teacher may give a minute for the student to write it down. Okay? Then the teacher can continue their dictated. And the second is picture cut task. It is same with the assessing before, but here the teacher will be provide two words which is a wrong spelling and a correct spelling, and the student should choose the correct one based on the picture. You can see the example on the slide. Okay? And the third, multiple choice techniques. Presenting words and phrases as the form of multiple choice as in the reading sections. But here we can rearrange it, become a technique to assess the spelling ability by changing the form of the choice with spelling conventions. So here we can use the form of reading, but the multiple choice we can rearrange or reset them with spelling conventions. And the last one is matching phonetic symbols. If students have become familiar with phonetic alphabet, they could be shown phonetic symbol and asked to write the correctly spelled word alphabetically. This works best with letters that do not have one-to-one correspondence with the phonetic symbol. You can see the example on the slide also.
In the next slide is about vocabulary. Several texts are intensive controlled writing. I will explain what is the controlled writing activities are. Okay, controlled activities are fundamental to teaching literacy to children to adults. Unlike other forms of writing from our activities, controlled writing focuses on establishing grammatical pattern, sentence structure, punctuation, and word order. Controlled writing exercise can help students to learn how to express themselves effectively and properly English. Maksudnya itu control writing itu sangat penting untuk diajarkan untuk mengajarkan literasi anak-anak dan dewasa. Nah, untuk aktivitas lainnya, control writing ini berfokus pada grammatical pattern, sentence structure, punctuation, dan word order. Nah, kalau latihan control writing ini dapat membantu siswa belajar bagaimana mengekspresikan diri mereka sendiri dalam belajar bahasa Inggris yang efektif dan benar. And then designing assessment text. There are so many designing assessment texts like dictation and dictocam, and what are grammatical transformation text, picture text, vocabulary, and other. I will explain one by one what is the text about. The first is dictation and dictocam. Dictation is the rendition in writing of what one hears orally. And dictocam, a paragraph is to read at normal speed, usually 2 or 3 times. Then the teacher asks students to write the paragraph from the best of their recollection. Maksudnya itu dictation itu kayak dikte. Guru itu biasanya mengulang biasanya 2 atau 3 kali bacaan, kemudian siswa menulis kembali apa yang mereka dengar. Nah, kalau dictocam itu menulis secara tertulis dari apa yang didengarkan guru, biasanya 2 atau 3 kali. Ya samalah dictation sama dictocam. Nah, untuk contohnya ada di slide selanjutnya. Yang ketiga yaitu grammatical transformation text. Grammatical transformation are the change of the grammatical elements of the sentence structure or grammatical pattern of the sentence as a whole according to the requirements of the target language norm. Nah, maksudnya itu adalah perubahan unsur tata bahasa, struktur kalimat atau grammar secara keseluruhan sesuai dengan persyaratan norma bahasa. Nah, ini there is a lot of grammatical types like change tense in a paragraph, change full form of verb to reduce, change statement to yes or not or we have question, and other. And then there is a example of grammatical transformation. The next explanation is a picture quote text. This technique includes intensive writing, is almost used in ELF or ESL classroom. The main advantage of using this technique is detaching the almost ubiquitous reading and writing connection and offering instead a non-verbal means to stimulate written response. Nah, di picture quote text ini biasanya digunakan kelas EFL atau ESL. Nah, manfaat utama dari penggunaan ini itu adalah mendeteksi kayak merangsang tanggapan menulis mereka melalui gambar. Nah, Variety of picture grid text includes short sentence, picture description, and picture sequence description. Di sini ada 3 jenis dari picture grid text. Yang pertama is short sentence, picture description, and the last is picture sequence description. Nah, the next slide is about the text, and then vocabulary assessment text. The assessment of vocabulary is important for language learners and their teacher. Developing a learner's vocabulary is a key goal for language learners because it supports all of their other language skill of writing, reading, listening, and speaking. Nah, di tugas vocabulary assessment ini penting untuk pembelajar bahasa. Karena apa? Karena ini tuh menyangkut tentang skill bahasa mereka kayak writing, reading, listening, dan speaking mereka. Nah, itu adalah contoh soalnya. Terus yang for the next is ordering text. Grand text at the sentence level may appeal to those who are fond of the word game and puzzle. Ordering a scrambled set of the word in the correct sentence. Maksud dari ordering text ini yaitu kayak kata acak, kayak permainan puzzle, tapi kata diurutkan untuk menjadi kalimat yang benar. Nah, ini contohnya. And that's all from my explanation. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Saya Naili Dwi Syakirah, NIM 2518081. Di sini saya akan menjelaskan tentang responsive writing dan extensive writing. Jadi yang pertama yaitu responsive writing. Responsive writing yaitu siswa diminta untuk menghubungkan sebuah kalimat dengan sebuah paragraf. Nah, biasanya di sini itu siswa telah memahami tata bahasa dengan baik dan lebih berfokus pada ketepatan bahasa, dan biasanya itu penilaiannya lebih fokus pada makna dan konteks dari tulisan. Nah, misalnya itu seperti laporan, kemudian cerita, kemudian ringkasan, deskripsi, dan lain-lain. Nah, kemudian yaitu yang kedua extensive writing. Jadi extensive writing itu biasanya siswa itu telah memahami unsur-unsur tulisan dengan baik, dan mereka lebih fokus pada tujuan tulisan dan mengembangkan ide-ide menjadi penjelasan yang masuk akal. Misalnya seperti membuat esai, tesis, dan lain sebagainya. Nah, jadi responsive writing dan extensive writing itu membahas tentang keaslian, penilaian, dan waktu. Jadi yang pertama yaitu keaslian. Jadi keaslian itu sesuatu yang sangat diperhatikan dalam tulisan. Tugas harus dipastikan bahwa tugas memiliki keabsahan ataupun referensi yang jelas. Nah, kemudian yang kedua yaitu penilaian. Penilaian tidak hanya melihat bagaimana siswa menggabungkan kata menjadi sebuah kalimat, namun juga siswa harus menilai apa yang dimaksud dengan tulisan mereka. Kualitas tulisan menjadi sesuatu yang sangat penting dalam proses penilaian. Dan yang ketiga yaitu waktu. Jadi waktu dalam menulis, siswa diberikan kebebasan dalam membuat tulisan dan tidak diberi batasan waktu untuk menyelesaikan tulisannya. Sebelum siswa menyelesaikan tulisannya, akan ada banyak proses yang ia lakukan untuk memperbaiki tulisannya menjadi lebih baik. Nah, sekian penjelasan dari saya, kurang lebihnya mohon maaf. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.